Hey guys, I hope you're all doing well. I am going to make a video today about elaborating a little bit on a short that I made about victim shaming, victim blaming, things of that nature. I don't identify as a victim, I identify as a survivor, but others that are on their healing journey and doing what they have to do to survive and maneuver through some of the hardest times of their life may not be in that mindset yet, may not have shifted their perspective like I encourage all of you to do. Like, just changing the tone, changing the space that you're in, the mindset helps you to stay more positive and be um, uplifting of yourself, even when no one else might be. And changing that perspective was very important for me. It really turned everything on its head. And, where I had gone through situations where people were like, she's homeless, and she's staying in a tent, or she's sleeping in her car, like left and right. I was constantly being told something like that in a negative way. And I was like, Look, to me, I am always at home within myself. I am always connected to God, to Source. So I'm home no matter what. So I don't consider myself homeless. I never did. I don't still. But houseless, I may not have a house. I may not have a wooden concrete brick structure that I dwell in. That's not it's not like of the utmost importance to me because I'm still taken care of. But those who are finding themselves in that situation and they're houseless, or they're being told you're homeless or looked down upon in any way, frowned upon, just not received very well because of their predicament, and they might not be on a healing journey at all, or might have just started it, or wherever they may be on their path, they not may not be strong enough to change that perspective yet, and may not be changing their perception in order to look at themselves differently and not worry about what other people are thinking. And I also wanted to clarify, when I was speaking about the lady in the office the other day, or just situations that I want you to walk around, when I call them piles of crap, I'm not talking about the people being piles of crap because I very much believe that we are all connected, and that person is me and I am that other person, and we are all one. So I would never call someone else a piece of crap, but I'm talking about the situations that we may find ourselves in where people project how they're feeling or what they embody onto us, or their unhealed shadow side of themselves, and act out of that shadow side in the way that they treat us. And just may not like you because you're on your healing journey or you're walking in the light, and in comparison they see what they could be if they just put in some work, and they don't want to do that, so they'd rather bring you down than bring themselves up. Like those situations, where the girl in the office was not so nice to me. She said some things to me that were very unnecessary, and I would never have spoken to her like that, and I didn't have any um, ill will towards her, so I saw no reason for her to put that on to me. And so I felt that I needed to make that short in order to help others that may go through similar situations like that, because what's going on in other people's lives that we may not be able to see or know about is going to spill over into your life all the time, and you need to learn how to take that pause and how to step around. And I even when I had mentioned the the analogy about a polycrat before, I was talking first off about someone who is an atheist, and I had put a post on Facebook about being locked out of my Facebook and having created a secondary Facebook in order to contact my customers, because most of them were in contact with me via email over Facebook, and I had orders that I had to get out. And I said something about how maybe being rejected from that Facebook was God's protection. And the person that was my Facebook friend that had commented on the status saying, let's not bring our imaginary friends into this. And stuff like that. And I was like, look, I'm not trying to convert you, and I'm not religious, and I'm not trying to make you believe in God or bring you over to what I believe. I'm simply stating something on my status that you don't have to believe in, and I'm not coming to your page and saying anything like that about how you should believe in God and how he's not an imaginary friend. I didn't say all that, but I was like, if you perceive something as a pile of crap, not talking about people, talking about situations or things that might be said or done, just walk around. You don't have to get on there and comment and say, hey, look, everybody, this is our imaginary friend. This is a pile of crap. It stinks. This is gross. This is nasty. You don't believe in it. Like, it's so unnecessary, and it's so immature for someone to feel the need to be loud and disruptive and very, reactionary about something that you don't believe in or you don't agree with, or something that might offend you that has nothing to do with you, or you're not going to be able to control it, and your reaction isn't going to help anything. It's going to help them, because often that's what they're looking for. So just step around. Just step around and have the maturity about you to not have to say anything about it. And if you do feel the need to speak out, then go do that on your own platform. Create your own platform and speak freely about your opinions and your principles and your standards and all of that over there. And your people, your like-minded souls out there will find you, and you guys can, jive and vibe and all of that with that stuff that you believe in. So I would never try to convert an atheist, agnostic, or anything like that. Just like I would never try to convert the lady in the office to believe what I believe. I thought that we had some common ground when we talked about tarot cards, and she told me about her tarot cards, and then she talked about some things online that had helped her, and things she didn't know before she, connected with these people that are not around her in her day-to-day life, and with some issues that she was going through. And it really helped her find solutions to some problems that she was having. But in projecting onto me, thinking that I was spreading hate by using, turning my pain into power, that's simply not true. Your truth is your truth, and everyone should tell their story. And you don't have to get on here and name names. And you know, um, defamation of character, by the way, is, if you take it to court, I have researched this, that you have to prove that you lost something, that it affected your life negatively in some way, that you lost something by way of money, by job, by something tangible. You lost it. And if nobody is naming your name and you haven't lost anything, then you can't claim defamation of character. You can't claim libel. Libel has to be, I think, written. But anyway, I encourage everyone to get out and tell their story, because someone out there needs to hear that. Your success story is someone else's survival story. And I think that was Brene Brown, but other people need to hear that. You being of service after something that you survived is of the utmost importance to someone else that you may never meet and they may never tell you. But do it anyway. It doesn't matter if you make money off of it, or you get likes and subs and, donations from it. It is important because of the spiritual value, the love, the kindness, the generosity, the courage that it took for you to get together, to reach deep and to make it through what you went through, and then be able to get on a screen or write something down and then press publish. I mean, that's a lot. That takes a lot. Trust me. If you look at some of my earlier videos, I am not comfortable at all. I am reading from a notebook. I am messing up left and right. Like, it is not pretty, but and I'm not saying that it is now, but it's come a long way, and I feel a lot more comfortable telling my story to others and knowing that I'm helping them. Enough people have told me now that I know that what I'm doing is doing good somewhere, somehow, and that makes it all worth it. So but yeah, victim shaming, victim blaming. First, if you're just going by what someone else is saying and you haven't gotten to know that person at all, or you are standing with an idea of something that you believe or someone else has taught you is taboo, as far as like homelessness or anything where someone doesn't have, they're less fortunate than you, and then you use their situation in order to kick them while they're down or to make them feel even worse than they already feel probably in that situation. And it's hard for them. It's hard for them to see themselves where they are. It's hard for them to accept that. It's hard for them to come up with a plan on how to execute that plan and reach goals to get out of there. There's a lot of resources, quote unquote, that people share out here in the community that are worthless. I hate to say it, but they are. They're glorified in the community, but if you actually are in need and you call those places, they don't help hardly anyone. They're very choosy in who they help. And, was this person sent to me by this other organization that we work with? Were they sent to me by a person that I know personally? Am I doing a favor? Am I getting notoriety for helping this person or this community or working with this organization? Like, scratch my back, we scratch yours kind of thing. There's a lot of no's that I received, and I could have sat and cried and cried and cried, and I probably did at the time because I had a lot more writing on it than I do now. But I mean, being told no and turned away, laughed at, looked at, somebody being mean to you for no reason when they don't even know you and they don't know why you're in the situation you're in, what led to it, who contributed to it, because I know in my situation it was a lot of things that people were doing to try and block me, to try and um, put me in a position where I had no money, no income, no car, no house, no friends, just very isolating. And when you are put in that position by someone else, even if you don't see yourself as a victim because you know that God put you in that situation for a reason, there's something for you to learn from it here. It's to strengthen you and then for you to help others with whatever the situation may be. It was all on purpose. It was done for you and not to you. But until you get, you know, until you hit the ground running on trying to figure out and put a plan into action, people turning their back on you. And like when I was in the park the first time, I had several complaints made, false complaints made about me, saying that I was trying to hit someone's car or that I was sketchy or sending emails to the park. And so that person in the office probably heard one-sided from those people that were making up things about me. And thankfully her boss at the time came to me and asked me and got my side, but that girl never did. And so she thinks she knows me. She thinks she knows that those things that were said about me were true because she's never taken the time to get to know me. So, when I'm asking her for a favor and her boss says yes and she can't control the no that she very much wanted to give me, she had to turn it into a scolding lesson where it was, well, there better be no disturbances or you're going to be kicked out of the park for a year. That didn't need to be said to me. None of that needed to be said to me. And I haven't done anything to disturb anyone in actuality. Nothing like that has ever happened. That was true. But she took what somebody else said or, you know, just negative perceptions of me based on probably something that somebody said that actually did me wrong. But I'm not just folding. I'm not doing what everybody wanted me to do, which was lay down and die and be sad and think my life was over and that I don't deserve love or I'm not worthy of anything. I didn't do what they wanted me to do, so they had to continue to make it hard on me. And in turn, telling people things about me that were not true was another way to make things hard on me so that I didn't have any credibility. So that if I went to the girl in the office and I asked for a favor, that she would tell me no. But luckily, it wasn't up to her, so she couldn't tell me no. But she did do things to me that weren't nice. And for people that haven't, this is my second go around here, so I've been through this. I've been through a lot of things leading up to this point, so I'm stronger now. I do not care what other people think about me. I can take that pause and know that I'm not going to be in low vibrations, and I'm not going to let people that are in low vibrations bring me down, because I've seen the alternative. I know what it is now to love myself and to know my worth and to use my positive coping skills, that I don't want to stay there. I know that the alternative feels wonderful, and I don't need to be there. I don't need to live there. I've gone through too much to stay there or be affected by people that want to stay there. So I'm going to get up and get out of situations like that fast, and I'm not going to react to them. And I'm not going to, match their energy and roll around in the mud. And I know how to walk around not people, but situations that I deem as piles of crap. But a lot of other people out here are on different places in their journey. They don't have all of those skills yet. They don't know their worth. They're not loving themselves. They might be believing that their situation encompasses them, and it is them, and that they're going to be there forever. Just very doom and gloom. And I'm very grateful that I'm not there, but I'm here to help the people that are there and haven't fully stepped into their power yet and started putting one foot in front of the other, and having forward movement no matter how slow go it is. Like, those people that want to kick you while you're down, or say negative things to you about you or your situation without knowing the truth, or without knowing what it is to be in your shoes, they may not be strong enough to withstand that, to know how to act, to not make the situation worse, or believe about themselves what those other people are thinking or saying. And so it's very important to put yourself in those shoes, because what happens is your karma will eventually catch up with you, and God will put you in those situations that those people are in that you're being mean to, and you will have to see and figure it out for yourself. You will have to see how they feel, and you will have other people treat you how you treated them, and you will have to dig yourself out of situations like homelessness, or being without a car, or being without certain resources, without having food, without having clothing, having to live in a hotel. Like, you'll find yourself in those very situations, and I pray that no one ever treats you that way if you have treated someone else that way, because that's what happens. Everything that you want for someone else when your karma kicks in is going to happen to you. Things that you have done to other people that you were careless about and that you were reckless about, those things are going to happen to you. So put yourself in those people's shoes, and how would you want to be treated? Treat them like that. Doesn't mean that you have to give them a handout. Doesn't mean that you have to say yes to everything that they want or need. But be nice to them. You don't have to kick them while they're down and make the situation worse, or make yourself feel better by putting them down or looking at them a certain way and treating them a certain way. Like, God is the ultimate decider here. He is in complete control. It's not for you to make anybody feel less than. We are all connected. We are all one, and doing something to someone else is doing that to yourself too. And it may take a minute for that to kick in, but eventually you'll see, and it'll be very real for you, just like it's very real for them in the moment where you had that choice to make, where you could have been nice, you could have shown them kindness, you could have helped them out with whatever they may have needed, whether they were asking for it or not. Just giving them a smile instead of looking down your nose, or um, I don't even look at people when they're looking at my car anymore, because I know what they're thinking, but it's not going to affect me. It's not going to make me feel like, oh, my life is crap because my car looks like this. Like, I just don't even look at them anymore. I divert my eyes and I think about something else, and they can look and they can make whatever face or say whatever they want. It's not going to affect me. I am grateful for my car. Every dent, scratch, wrecked part, leaking fluid, part on every part of it, I appreciate and love, because it has gotten me this far. It has taken care of me, and all of that was because God made sure that I had that, and that it did what it was supposed to do for as long as it was supposed to do it. And that goes for anything that I have. So, I don't take anything for granted, and I don't let anybody make me feel a certain way about myself or my situation, because they didn't have to do it. They just had to look, and they had to hear all the things that were said, and they had to be comfy in, this situation or that situation, which is what made them react the way that they did, because they'd never been in that position. So it's easy to do. It's easy to spread hate. It's easy to say negative things. It is so easy. It takes such a little effort to laugh and to treat people less than it does to rise above and be kind and to be generous and to show, genuine love and spread that and keep doing it and encourage others to do it. Like, that is hard. That is very hard. So I commend everyone that's doing that and trying and showing that effort and spreading love and kindness, because it it's not easy. And it's not easy to sustain. It's easier once you do it and you keep doing it. It becomes second nature and it becomes part of your routine. But up until you started healing and you started feeling a certain way, the kindest people come from the ones that were hurt the most, because they don't want others to feel the way that they felt. So that's what that's what God will do. He will humble you real quick when you try to get out here and play God and try to make others feel bad for the situations that they were in, that they might had no hand at all in causing that they were there. And for some, they might even choose to be there. Some people choose to be homeless. So, but who are you to judge? Who are you to treat them a certain way, or act like you know why they're there and how this happened and that it was all their fault and how they could have avoided it, when someone else might have done that to them? They might have chosen this. It might not be their fault at all, and you don't know how many times they've had doors closed in their face or harsh things said to them or done to them. You don't know, so don't treat them a certain way. If they feel like a victim in that moment and they haven't gotten themselves out of it, and then you go and shame them for being a quote unquote victim, that's what's going to happen to you. You're going to be a victim of someone else, of something else. So think about that before you try to kick somebody while they're down or try to make them feel less than, because what goes around comes around. It's going to eventually happen to you, something just the same or something similar. And I wouldn't wish my situation or anything even close to it onto anybody else. And I definitely will never take anything for granted, and I will never treat anybody the way that others have treated me and made me feel. So I just wanted to say that and clarify the whole pile of crap thing, because I don't want anybody to think that I'm calling another person a pile of crap. But people put out piles of crap all the time. Big, heaping, steamy piles all the time, and you need to know what to do with that, especially if you haven't there's a big raccoon over here, especially if you haven't gotten on your healing journey yet and started talking to yourself differently and changing your perspective and your perception, because it all matters. It's all part of the soup. I love you. God loves you. You're never alone. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.